Well, that is, again, the key, you guys. If you are not selling coaching, I can tell you there's two problems. One, you are not talking to enough people. And there's always that question of where do I find the people? But the other thing is you have to have a super clear message. People really need to understand how you're going to help them and what it is that you're going to help them with. Hello, I'm Debbie Shadid, the host of the Life Coach Business Building Podcast. If you are ready to have more clients in your life coach business, then you're in the right spot. Each week, I'm going to teach you super simple strategies to grow your business without feeling overwhelmed and without spending money on paid ads. Now, if that sounds interesting, stick around and let's get started. Welcome to the Life Coach Business Building Podcast. I'm really excited today because I'm going to introduce you to some of the ladies who are going to be the speakers at the Design, Live, Thrive Summit. And before we get started, I want to invite you to join us. This is a 2-day summit for women, January 13th and 14th. You can head over to designlivethrive.com and you can register. It is free. Let me just tell you that if you are a woman who is saying, gosh, I know I want more in my life, I know that I really want to make 2023 an amazing year, then this summit is for you. We're going to be talking about how to better manage the load of responsibilities that you have, just how to improve your overall life experience and really intentionally design a more meaningful life. And I know that you probably want that. We're also going to talk today about what it's like for these ladies to have worked with me inside of the Business Building Boutique, because I know there's coaches listening to this that are curious about the work that we do. So we will be going that direction as well. Before we get started, though, let me talk to you a little bit more about this summit. I want to make sure that you guys know everybody is going to be offering a free coaching session when you attend their session live, which is pretty amazing. We're going to have a full range of topics. We're going to have dieting, actually how to not diet, why restrictive diets fail. Kimberly Severson is going to be talking about 3 simple steps to stop overeating. We're going to have Stacey Bonson, who's going to be talking to midlife women who really want to create a more fulfilling life, because as she has found out, and she's going to teach you, it's never too late. We also are going to be having conversations about people pleasing. We're going to be talking about finding inner peace, about loving the body that you are in. We're also going to have open coaching at the end of day 1, at the end of day 2. And the speakers from each of those days are going to be there to be able to offer any coaching to you and to answer any further questions. All right, let's get started. I want to introduce you to the 3 speakers I have today. I would like for you ladies to be able to tell everybody who you coach, what you do, and how you can help them. So Cynthia, let's get started with you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Cynthia Kofel, and I work with teens and young adults. Most of my clients are 13 to 24 years old. Right now, I'm kind of focusing on the college age students to see what I can do to help them transition into that part of their adult life. But I do work with all sorts of young people, and it's because I was an educator for 31 years. And so I love young people. I've dedicated my whole life to them. So I wanted to continue to work with them.
Oh, that is so good and so needed. Erin, how about you? You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Erin Thompson. I serve the elderly generation and the families caring for them. I have worked in the assisted living industry for the last 20 years, and there is not one thing I'm not passionate about in helping families navigate their caregiving journey, especially in those crisis moments when you feel like you can't do this anymore. What is the next step? How do I find that? What's the right place? That's where I come in. That's where I help.
That is so awesome. I want to tell you guys that when it comes to the summit, I feel like we've got everything covered. We're going to be talking about families in all ranges. We're going to be talking about overwhelm and anxiety and health and wellness. So this is just a taste of what there is as far as the speakers go. Tara, how about you? Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us who you coach?
Hi, I'm Tara Sheck, and I'm a stress and anxiety coach. And I help women to take control of how they feel and then be able to lead the life that they want to live and not let anxiety be in the driver's seat. I use a lot of holistic techniques like mindfulness and meditation and breath work, different grounding techniques and somatic experiencing in order to help tame down the anxiety.
Oh my gosh, that's definitely something everybody needs. All right, Cynthia, tell us about the workshop that you are going to be hosting and tell us about what you're going to be teaching and kind of what people might expect to take away from that.
Okay. Well, my talk is actually for parents in this summit because I have worked with families for so many years and I kind of got both sides of the story always because the parents would come in and tell me things and the kids would tell me some other things when they were in my office. And so I've kind of put together 4 things that kids really wish their parents knew that maybe they didn't know, and ways that you can communicate and how you can build relationships with your teens when that's really one of the most difficult times to build a relationship. And of course, we hope you've been building it all along since they were born. But even if, things have kind of gone off the rails in the teen years, there's ways to fix those things. And so that's what I'll be talking about, is what kids wish their parents knew, and talking about how to do those things in a relationship, especially with the teen. But really, the things that I'm going to talk about could help in any age child, even adult children, or even really small children.
Yeah. So you have a lot of experience with kids in schools because you spent many, many years. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I was a teacher for 6 years and I was a special education teacher. So I also understand neurodiversity in all grades. I did elementary when I was doing my special education teaching. And then I was a school counselor for 25 years and I did school counseling kindergarten through 12th grade. So I had all of those ages. And the last 3 years, I was a school counselor just for students who had IEPs. So all of my day was going to meetings and helping classroom accommodations and helping people write IEPs. So I also understand that part of school and education. And so if you had a child that had difficulties in those areas, that's something that I would have experience with as well.
Yeah. So you guys, when she says she knows exactly what is going on with many teens in their mind, she's heard it all, I'm sure. So definitely, I know that you've worked with lots of families to be able to guide them on many, many situations. All right. Erin, how about you? Tell us about your talk and kind of what you hope people will take away from the summit.
My talk is entitled What to Expect When You're Not Expecting to Care for Your Elderly Loved One. And although I could really get down into the nitty-gritty because I believe that the details are really what creates success, I've decided to just make it real broad in nature and just talk about these are the topics that you need to know. These are the documents that you need to know about. These are the summaries of different things inside of the finances or the insurances and things that you need to know just in case the unfortunate event happens and you are forced to be in a role that you're not prepared for. I've seen too many people not know a thing and have to take the wheel that they were not expected to take. So just the main points that will get you started to at least be able to successfully drive the car if you have to.
I can say that I am one of the many people who has also been in this role of caretaking when you least expect it. And I remember saying, I wish I had a manual on this. So Erin, I know that a lot of people will really find value in what you have to share. So I appreciate that. You're going to be helping them. All right, Miss Tara, tell us what your topic is going to be about, your workshop, what you hope people will learn from you.
Well, I was just thinking about how amazing this summit is going to be to help transform women's lives for 2023. And I just wanted to say thank you to you for coordinating this. And I will be contributing by discussing the impact of ongoing stressors on our nervous system and on our physical and mental health. But more importantly, I will be showing you how to use a couple interactive holistic techniques to bring your anxiety back down without having to resort to medication, which is something I had to do for 10 years before I realized that coaching and grounding techniques and somatic experiencing were even an option. And then I'll be discussing the anxiety cycle and how to break it and what that can look like in different aspects of your life.
Oh my gosh. A lot of people experience anxiety and stress and overwhelm. So I'm sure, Tara, what you're going to be talking about will be useful for everybody. I want to just mention that the summit was really designed to introduce women to coaching. These workshops are just a taste of what it would look like for you to work with a coach. So you'll be able to get a glimpse of what it would look like to work with Tara, to understand how a coach could help you with anxiety instead of medication. And we're certainly not saying that's a no option, but what coaching could look like. Because I know there's a lot of you that don't understand, like, what is a coach or what is a life coach? And we want you to have a better understanding of that. And so I'm excited for everybody to share that. All right, Cynthia, would you mind sharing, without giving any details, kind of what somebody, maybe an experience somebody's had that's coached with you, an aha, an eye-opening experience, an outcome that they've had?
Well, because I mostly work with young people, I do give summaries to the parents. And so sometimes the parents will then contact me about something. So I had a student that she was fighting with her mom every morning about her lunch. She was packing her lunch in the morning and she was putting too many snacks in it or too many sugary things and wasn't making a balanced lunch. And then they would have a fight about it. And then people would be late and it was kind of a mess. And so I just talked to the mom about, what if you work on the grocery list together and decide, and the mom can have the control over, these are the types of things I want you to have in your lunch, and then let your daughter choose, okay, I like these things, have those things available, have a list of, I want you to have one of these things, and then let her do it herself. Don't get involved in it. Don't have a fight in the morning. And it all worked out because they had a compromise and they talked about it. And then those things were available instead of just grabbing anything that was laying around in the kitchen because it hadn't been organized. And it seems simple, but at the same time, when you're running your household and going to work and trying to keep track of your own schedule, sometimes it's one of those things that you don't think about. You just want your child to do what they're supposed to do, but you haven't really talked about what that is or how it's supposed to look. And so that was an example of a way that I'm working with the young person. They tell me this story about what's happening, and then I go to the parent and we figure out how to make that a better situation at home.
Yeah, because who wants to have an argument every morning over a school lunch? Nobody,
Yes.
right?
Right. No one has time for that.
That's awesome. Tara, I want to hear a little bit about some of the situations that you've been able to help people through. I know even in your work environment, a lot of people come to you just needing advice and support. So can you share a little bit about kind of the way that you've helped a client, the way that you've helped somebody through anxiety to better deal?
Yeah, a lot of people come to me because they've had chronic stress throughout their life or possibly even trauma. And their nervous system's very dysregulated, but they don't really realize what's going on. They just know that they're self-sabotaging and that things are very out of control inside of themselves and also just in their day-to-day activities. And they're trying to figure out like what is happening. And then when you're functioning with a lot of the anxiety, it's often hard to make decisions. So sometimes people come to me and what they're needing is just a streamlined way to make a decision. I did create this Decide method that helps them make their decisions more quickly and with a lot less stress. And then the thing that they've found is that when they start making changes in their own life, that those around them, like you were mentioning, the coworkers, start wondering what's happening and how things are shifting and what's this transformation about and how did it, what things that you're doing to get to that point. And so then it starts like a domino effect. And so then your coworkers and your relatives, your children, they start making shifts in their own life also. So it kind of breaks some generational traumas and ways of handling things as well.
Okay, Tara, that is fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. All right, Miss Erin, you're up. Tell us what kind of has happened when you've worked with a client so somebody, again, can have a little bit better perspective about what it is you do.
So I can help people who just want to understand what the caregiving role means. I can help people navigate those really tough decisions that they have to make in regards to choosing which path to take. Are they ready for memory care? Do they need hospice? Working through the emotions behind that. And the biggest emotion that stops everybody in their tracks, well, there's two of them. It's shame and guilt. And so bringing in the 20 years of experience of seeing what every proactive and every reactive decision can bring will help somebody make a decision based on their current situation. Because it's never, ever feels good to make a proactive decision because you never know what you prevented. But I can tell you what reactive scenarios are and what can be prevented.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Erin. You're right. You never know how things are going to play out. So it's good to have somebody who has some wisdom really giving you some guidance. All right. Since we have coaches listening, you guys have created signature talks. We've done some email marketing. We've done some social media, all of this in an effort to really build your coaching business. So Cynthia, do you want to share a little bit about the experience that you've had as we've put this summit together?
Sure. Well, I have done many presentations. Being an educator, that's what you do most of the time. But this is a different audience and a different way of doing a presentation. And it was so nice to be able to show what I'm thinking about talking about, going over the slides, and just seeing that someone else that's not in the realm I've always been in can help me create this talk for a different kind of audience. And I wouldn't have known how to do that other than have somebody who could look over it, talk to me about it. And so that was super helpful. And also just having all the social media ready to go, and we can just pull up a page and this is what you're going to say. And here's the pictures you're going to use. And that was so nice because when you do this on your own, you have to do all that stuff by yourself. And even though I could have done that, it would have taken a really long time. And I maybe would have given up like, oh, that's too many things to do. And so having it all ready to go was just amazing. And I'm so excited to be part of this.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited too. So for those of you listening, I helped everybody really figure out what their talk was going to be about. And one thing Cynthia mentioned that I think is important to note, as coaches, we often talk more advanced than what our client is. We actually teach things in a little bit more complex way. Instead of really just keeping things simple, we forget what it was like to be at the very beginning. So it is important to get your talks sort of simplified down to where we just give somebody enough awareness in a signature talk to be able to have them reach out to you and schedule a consultation, because of course that's the purpose. So thanks, Cynthia, for that. All right, Miss Erin, how about you? You want to share a little bit about what it was like to put all this business together?
It was fun. I really enjoy it. It is a completely new way of working for me, and I certainly needed all the support that you brought to the table. I like your creativeness. I'm not as creative as you, and so it inspires me to do things that I certainly would not do. I come from a background of regulations and policies and procedures. And so it's a breath of fresh air to look at color and, oh, what does that mean? And all the things that you bring to the table that I am not inept in. And the structure of it has taught me a lot. And I think it goes without saying the sacrifice that you put in to make sure that your students are succeeding. And that speaks volumes. So we appreciate it.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, there was a lot that went into planning this summit. And I will, by the way, be giving a full debrief after the summit to let everyone know listening to the podcast really what it took to do the summit. So just a quick snapshot would be that once everybody created their talks, I also created social media content for everybody. And I think that was about 63 posts, something like that. And that was with the help of my assistants. I need to give full credit there. We also worked with a copywriter to write. There was about 11 emails that went out. We created a website for the summit. And then we have this whole replay part that we're putting together. But the real benefit to the people who are speaking is that they first are going to be an expert. They're going to say, wow, I was a speaker at, and that's been super exciting because I've seen the response to the posts, as you guys have mentioned, that you're speakers at a summit. You know, friends and family really are excited for you and like, I think see value now in what it is that you do. It's like, wow, she is an expert, isn't she? And that was, of course, my goal. The other part is that you're growing your email list. Everybody who signs up for the summit, all those email leads are being shared with everybody. So anyway, all right, Tara, do you want to share a little bit about putting this together as well?
Yeah, I encourage my clients to have a buddy system. So it's just kind of like a no-brainer to have a business coach as you're going through an endeavor like building a business, and especially in life coaching, where it's just kind of different than building a traditional business. This summit has just gotten me so out of my comfort zone that it's been really a growth experience, because coaching is a private setting and it's one-on-one and you're not in the spotlight. And it's been so nice to have the support from you to do something that was definitely a little uncomfortable thought in the beginning. And it's really helped to narrow down, like we have so many different things that we know about and that we help our clients with, but to just narrow down and streamline the approach that we're going to take for this speech was very helpful. You've helped us to be able to communicate clearly through different avenues like our emails and our website copy, speaking to people in person and social media, and then just being able to explain to them how we do support in a more clear way has been just a lot of support. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, that is, again, the key, you guys. If you are not selling coaching, I can tell you there's two problems. One, you are not talking to enough people. And there's always that question of where do I find the people? We solve that. But the other thing is you have to have a super clear message. People really need to understand how you're going to help them and what it is that you're going to help them with. So that is a lot of the work that we do. That's kind of what Tara's referring to as well. So is there anything else you guys want to add about the summit, about what somebody should know about coming to the summit? Any last word before I wrap this one up?
I think the summit is full of speakers who want to add value and adding value for free. And that's an amazing thing to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
And I always used January as before when I would have goals or whatever. That was when I was going to start and do something new. And so it's perfect that it's in January because I think a lot of people are ready to try new things in January for the new year. And so it's like perfect timing to find out anything you would want to know about making your life better.
Yeah. All right. And for Tara, like, who doesn't want to go into 2023 with less anxiety? Right?
Yes.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Again, you should sign up for this summit, designlivethrive.com. It is free. It is 2 days worth of really incredible topics, all designed to help you really make 2023 your best year. So if you are a coach listening to this, I guarantee you there's going to be topics that you don't know anything about. And there are coaches that all come from different backgrounds, different certifications, different coaching schools. So we'll have a wide variety of styles here and coaches that you can learn from. So you guys, thank you so much for being here. I will leave your websites all in the show notes. Let me just mention all three of these ladies have podcasts as well. So you're going to want to go to their website and get connected with them so you can be listening to their podcast as well. You guys, thank you so much. Have an amazing day. And I will see you all very soon. And I'll see the rest of you guys at the summit.
Thank
Talk
you.
to you very soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, ladies, that is it for today. Before we go, I want to invite you to head over to DebbieShadow.com. I have this incredible Canva training specifically designed for life coaches where I'm going to teach you how to use Canva to create beautiful graphics to market your life coaching business. All right, have an amazing week. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.